One, we want you to recommend to us the people who are going to form the nominating committee. That's caucusing number one. So when you are going to say, oh, when we have been given this person, let us think if it's a man, male adult, try this elder, this man, this Adventist man, and then you vote together and say this is the one representing us from this caucus. That's what we call caucusing. If you are given 4 or 5 or 10, in that event of identify the 10, that activity is called caucusing. After which, your caucusing is over. Don't tell them that when you go there, in this position, bring so and so. That is not to do who is representing us, this lady we were given, this young man we were given, this young woman we were given. That activity is what is called caucusing. Number 2, and that is allowed, and I want you now to go to number 14. Number 14, page 14 rather. Page 14, section 2. And section 2, we want to see E. Section 2E. That's another thing we want you to do in the caucus. It says here that the nominating committee shall also nominate members, other ex officio members, for the field executive committee. That's the work of the nominating committee. After you have given us the delegates, you are now going to, that delegates going to the nominating committee would also propose the executive committee. Now the executive committee is easy because it comprises officers and department directors. Then pastors representative and lay representative. We don't want those 3 people or 4 people going into the nominating committee to determine who's going to be your lay representative. That would be unfair for that station. So we want you. The officers will give you what they want to see in the nominating committee. Nominating committee is the second highest committee of this conference, of this field. And actually, it is the one, together with the officers, who are going to run the church for 5 years. So we need serious people. We need people there who are able to reason from cause to effect. Or let me read the qualifications of those people who are supposed to be in the EXCOM. EXCOM. Page 125, which is page 120 in the 20th edition, because you have not got the new one. Page 125. So 125, it says here that it is God's plan. Whose plan? Not our plan, not the union's plan, not the General Conference plan. Whose plan? It is God's plan that members chosen to be delegates be trustworthy. Who has required trustworthy from the delegates? God. Be trustworthy, tried and proved. You don't send anybody here. We have asked church boards to try and prove that that person is trustworthy and can represent that church in all the councils of all where all other churches are. And then should be chosen to be trustworthy, able to reason from cause to effect. So people who have 4 critical qualities. 1, trustworthy. 2, tried. 3, proved. And 4, able to reason from cause to effect. That's what we are saying. And the people going to represent the stations must be trustworthy, must be tried, must be proved. And so we have asked the officers, they are going to give you what is required in the committee. Because in the committee we need serious qualifications. Where the church has reached, we need the lawyers there in the committee. Where we are now with the government, we need people who are trained in finance and accounting. Because we want people there who are going to read the statement. At a glance, you look at the statement and you say, the church is headed in the right direction, the church is headed in the wrong direction. So we shall ask one or two stations to give us accountants or business. We want people who have done purchasing and all those. We want people who are studied in HR, who are coming to when we are disciplining, because the committee disciplines people. We need HR people there. We need lawyers there to say the church is doing something right, so that the committee does not take an action that is going to put the conference or the field in litigations after litigation. We need engineers there. So they will give us that, please give us, if possible, an engineer. Give us a teacher or somebody in education. Give us here. So when we ask something like education, don't go as low as recommending a teacher who is a nursery school teacher. Well, he's a teacher, but this committee needs serious educational engagement. And we don't want a teacher who studied and finished his university in education 1979, worked and retired 1982, and then he does not know even the current trends of education. We are in CPC, he's talking about Cambridge. We must have people who are current with CPC. Like I was asking this time, do you know that this time when they went for KIPSEA, no secondary school teacher was given to supervise? It's only CPC, because they don't understand these things. I have granddaughters, and I was a teacher of mathematics, so I tried to teach her. She tells me, no, that's wrong. And I was teaching students, and they were passing very well. But now she tells me that is not the right thing. Mwalimu hakusema hiyo. Okay? What did the mwalimu say? And the methodology employed this time is completely different from what we employed. That's why we say if it is mwalimu, it should be somebody who has seen 844 and has transitioned to CBC and is current with this. If it's an engineer, not an engineer who qualified in 1969 and retired in 1982. Things have changed tremendously. Even architecture. Kulikuwa na ile roofs ambazo zilikuwa zinawekwa tu hivi, and they have changed. So if we ask you for an engineer, an architect, bring us an architect who is either practicing or who has just retired but is current with the current architectural designs and all these things. So updated people, serious people. And then spiritual people, not the critics. Unajua kuna watu wengine unamleta because the committee is going to solve problems. Don't bring people who are ever creating problems for the committee to solve. Huyu mwache nje. So because there are people who, their work is to create a problem. Mnaenda huko mnaleta motion, nasema, Mr. Chairman, let me complicate it a little bit better. Then you go to deal with, take 2 hours, people are complicating motions and complicating motions. We don't have that time. Bring people who are going to help us that. So what you are doing is this. You will help us to recommend to us people who will represent you in the station according to the criteria we shall be given. And we also want age and gender. We want to see young people because they are in the church. We want to see women, they are in the church. We want to see men. We don't want to see an executive committee which is comprised, your committee is 36. I checked it, your committee is a maximum of 36, and you have 34 men and 2 women in the committee. No, we want to see a good balance. Young people there, male and female. We want to see women there, well balanced. We may not balance it, and we are not going to the government, the 2/3 and the 1/3 rule gender. No. But let's call people, men and women, young and old, professionals, serious people who are contributing to the church to be called here. So when you are given, for example, give us a lawyer. Don't limit yourself to the people who came here. If no lawyer came here, you open your eyes in the entire station and know a lawyer is in such a church but did not come here. He's good, he attends meetings, he's contributing well, so we now think he will represent us or she will represent us. You make that proposal. And if you are given an accountant, please, as an accountant, give us somebody who has serious accounting education, high level, CPK, if it is possible. Give us. When we are talking about, because we are now dealing with the serious things, auditing issues, and things that need the scrutiny of somebody educated. So when we speak business, don't send us a school bazaar. That person is good, but is not going to be as helpful as somebody who is a CBAK and is working in the Commercial Bank of Kenya. He looks at serious statements. He looks at trends. He's a financial analyst. And one advantage to you over what Pastor Mutugi may have, Pastor Mutugi is here, you may stand up. Pastor Mutugi does not have the advantage you have. Because of the city, you have almost every professional, top professional, PhD and all these things. But Pastor Mutugi, there, we may allow him to bring a school bazaar, but what can we do? But for you, we may not allow you to do that. Bring top professionals. These officers are not intimidated by any learning. We want to have our members, because they have got the education, let them come and help the church. Tell them this is what it is. Bring financial analysts to tell you the trends. Somebody starting in investment, so that he can tell us this is a bad thing to invest in, it's a good thing to invest in. Maana sisi wachungaji tunasema kama hiyo pesa imekuwa hapo, weka kwa benki. Financial analyst will tell you, we are studying the market, that is not viable. So we want such people, and you know them. you have them. God has provided for us. You, East Nairobi, and the Central Kenya Conference, they have no excuse for bringing, we don't want mediocrity in executive committees. So this is not where we have. We need people who are learned, good here. We don't want people ambao mnaleta kwa kamati, alafu mkisungumza, is not proficient in English, is not proficient in Kiswahili, tunakuja kumfundisha, tunataka kutranslate in the executive committee, hapana. We can do translation in seminars, but in the executive committee, we want people who are proficient in either English or Kiswahili or both. Somebody top professional doing well. So that is what you will do, and then you will also do that. So that activity of identifying somebody in your group is what is called caucusing. So from what I presented, how many items are you going to caucus on? Nimesema vitu vingapi? Viwili. Moja, people representing you in the nominating committee, you meaning your station, your caucus. Two, somebody who's going to represent you in the executive committee, because we want the nominating committee, wale ambao mtatuma watatu wane, wakuja hapa waseme, ndio, huyu ndio tulichagua. So we recommend them here, and you appoint the person, and we appoint the executive committee. So that is what we want to do. Is that clear? Is there any question? So to do that, we need to revise our operating policy. It is only this body that can change an operating policy. Executive committee cannot. Union cannot. Nobody can change your operating policy. It's only you. So based on the choice of the nominating committee, you are 3 stations, now you are? Now there are 5. So if they have increase from 3 to 5, you know definitely a formula must change. So we are proposing a change in the formula of getting people to the nominating committee. And I saw your nominating committee is 36 and your ex-com is 36. Is that voted? Those are voted. So you have 36 and this. Even the nominating committee, they are not the nominating committee, executive committee, don't fight that they feel all the 36. No. If you have 36, please come to 24 to 30 maximum. Why? Because the church is growing, and you may need, along the way before 5 years ends, to subdivide a certain station. So you are supposed to bring 2 more people in. If you fill the bottle and you now divide, then the water will spill over. Or you'll be forced to call another constituency meeting. That may happen, but why don't you leave space for that? So don't canvass for filling all the position 36. Leave that one for that. So at this point, I want to ask the secretary to come and propose the amendment. And the amendment is there in your books. Please open to the page. He will tell you to move the motion.
Thank you, Chairman. The proposed amendment is under Article 9, Section 2, and subsection B. It is
page 14.
Page 14, and highlighted in red for easy to identify. It says that every station shall have 3 delegates to the nominating committee. A station shall have an additional delegate for every 5,000 members or larger part thereof, to a maximum of 2 additional delegates. The station caucuses shall be provided with the required demographics in order to achieve gender balance in the nominating committee. I so propose, Mr. Chair.
Is that seconded? You add also gender and age balances.
Okay.
Because we want to see the youth there.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to say, it says, to ensure gender and age balances. Okay. It's moved and seconded. Any observation? If you have no observation, you say question. I taught you in the morning. Question. Those in favor, use your cards. And opposed? Thank you, it's carried. Therefore now, I want him to read what is required of the delegates to the nominating committee and how does it show the demographic, gender balance, and then age balance.
Thank you, Chairman.
And then, yeah, we shall take that one, and then we shall also read that of the lay.
Okay. Thank you very much. For this is the distribution based on our numerical and demographic of our members. For Kajiado,
but
East
you read
Station.
the nominating committee provisions first before you read here. It's on page 14. Read the entire first paragraph. Page 14.
Yes, page 14, the first paragraph.
Yes.
It says, the nominating committee shall consist of at least 12 and not more than 36 members, including the 3 officers of the union, the president of East Kenya Union Conference, or his designee shall serve as the chair.
Okay, is that clear? You have the number, you have those who go there. Then read C.
Okay. C. It reads, persons holding elective office as outlined in Article 7, Section 10, in the current term shall not be eligible to serve on the nominating committee.
So who are these? These are department directors and executive committee members because they are holding office. One is a paid holding office, another one is not paid. So this, the EXCOM cannot be members eligible to go to the nominating committee.
The officers of the field, having been elected at the union constituency meeting, shall be members of the nominating committee.
So the officers are the only one who are supposed to be in the nominating committee. Why? Because the executive committee and department committee are in the old quinquennium. The officers are in the new quinquennium. And that's the difference. As soon as they were elected in that Kitui, they transitioned from the old quinquennium, they are in the new quinquennium. And South Nairobi Kajiado had 3 leaders in the new quinquennium. So it has said they are going to be members in the nominating committee. So of the 36, you have seen the 3 officers of the union and the 3 officers of the field. They are going to be members of the nominating committee in the task 6.1 if it reaches there. And that is why Senior Counsel Orina was trying to say something. And after I've explained, I don't know whether you will still have further observation, but then we'll give you opportunity if you have. If it is clear, that is okay. Okay. So say it now so that when we go there, we are very clear. But here, Mike.
Thank you, Chair. Members, what I'm saying is that it will be so much in order that the executive officers, that is the president, the secretary and treasurer of the field, and the president, treasurer of the union become members of the nominating committee, but without a vote, and that only the chair has a vote of veto. This is what I have always known, unless there is a policy that has changed. This is what I know we did in 2010, 2015. If the policy has changed, then Chair, you can lead it to us, and we will comply if the policy has changed to that direction. Why I'm saying this is that the union has participated, it has given us officers, and we are glad they have done that. They have given us that. It will be time that you give these delegates time also to elect the departmental heads. Thank you.
All right. Before you sit, you are senior counsel.
That is, yes.
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 And you know the church government runs as much as the country.
I know. No.
Country,
the government,
sorry,
government and our church is different.
Let me complete my thought.
Yes.
The government is run by its constitution.
Yes.
And the provision that is put there and the mandates that is given, nobody can deny it unless it is changed. Right?
True.
Yes.
Yes.
It is the same with the church. If the church has provided that the officers of the field go in the nominating committee, it has provided.
Yes, it has not become clear that they are going with the vote.
Let me finish my thought. And if it says the 3 officers of the union shall go there, it's provided. And unless changed, we go with it. Let me read you the rules of order. General Conference Rules of Order. It says here, duty revised 2010, and I can even send it to you. Duties of the chair in the nominating committee. The chair shall preside over sessions of committees and meetings and nominating committee in harmony with the rules of order. The chair shall, number 4, the chair may vote if the vote is by ballot, or to make a tie or break a tie. Those are the provisions in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. So what we are saying is this: our operating policy, South Nairobi Kajiado, says and provides, and it has not been changed, that the 3 officers of the field go there as members. And they have not denied them a vote. The officers of the union go there as members of the nominating committee, and it has not denied them vote. Our rules of order does that. So those privileges, we cannot withdraw it here by discussion unless the whole policy has been changed, and we have not changed it. What happens is this, and let me tell you, we have gone to those fields and conferences. The 3 officers of the union may restrain from voting, but the practice and the policy of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, the officers of the field will vote. Why? Because they are the ones who are forming a team. These are captains. He's calling people who are going to play football or netball with them. So we can't silence them and push anybody to them, and then they are said, umeze, uteme, shauri yako, tumekupatia. It is Seventh-day Adventist principle. Let me tell you, even at the General Conference. At the General Conference, I've been in the nominating committee for all this time. The only person technically to choose is the president. And the president comes and forms his own team. He does it without apology. Why? Because the church has given it to them. So even without apology, the 3 officers will have an influence in the choice of departmentals. The union, we will restrain ourselves. But we have those powers. We don't have to use them. But we can't deny those ones for the officers of the field. It's an Adventist policy. It's an Adventist practice. So my senior counsel, please, let's go with what is agreed.
Thank you. You are in the process of reading a policy, the 2010 policy, which says the chair may.
Not 2010, revised 2025.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm sorry we have no access to that. We have not looked at it. We are using the whole method that we have always used. Now, the one you have read is saying the chair may.
Yes.
Does it also say that the other officers may or they shall? They shall vote.
No, all the members of the nominating committee are given the same mandate. And the mandate is they have voice and vote. That's what we set them with. Ama mukusikia? We set them with voice and vote. So when they go, whichever place they go, they have that privilege. They can choose to exercise it or not to exercise it, but they are given voice and vote. So when they go to the nominating committee, I am given voice and vote, but I may not know the pastors here who can fit this place. I may choose not to vote, and I have chosen, by the way, they can tell you, I've chosen not to vote all through. But in fields, you cannot limit the 3 officers from voting, because this is the team that is coming to work for him. I think it's clear now. Okay, thank you very much. You can now go ahead and read the composition of that.
Thank you, Chairman. Good afternoon once again. Yeah, I can hear my colleagues are keenly now to listen after senior counsel have shared some wonderful thought. Thank you, Elder. This is our numerical and demographic distributions as per our delegates. And we are starting with Kajiado East Station. Okay. Let me start with that. Kajiado East Station, the one who is going to oversee the process is Dr. Pastor Samuel Lomwe. Daktari, thank you. Nakuona ukiwa mwisho hiyo. I hope hii sauti inakupata vizuri. Thank you. Kajiado East Station. Na Kajiado East Station mtaenda huko mahali prof yuko. Sio yeye akuja pande hii. He's a delegate.
Yeah, he's a delegate. So he will be part of that caucus.
Yeah.
Patia hao wengine ambao ulipatia voice without vote. Patia kazi hawa ambao hawana vote. Hawa ni wengi.
Pastor Nyakina, you say he has a vote and a voice, eh?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Senior. So instead of Pastor Lumwe, the
Yeah, you are
president.
denying him the voice and vote in his caucus. Because we want him to see also.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Brother Nyakina. And now I pray that we accept the call, the high call, to stand with Kajiado East Station at the same corner where Prof is, to oversee this one. And Kajiado East Station, they will give us 3 delegates, 1 worker, 1 lay adult who is a male, and 1 lay youth, a female. I hope that's very clear. I should repeat again. Nyakina, in our book, this book, you can't get it anywhere else. The places for notes are spread all over. But the easiest is at the back. Just go to the back and you will get a full page. Kajiado East, you will give us 3 delegates, 1 worker, 1 lay adult who is a male, and 1 lay youth, which is a female. I think that is correct. Thank you. We go to the next station, and the next station is Kitengela. Kitengela. And my senior, Pastor John Okemwa, the Executive Secretary, ENF, will lead us on that. Kitengela Station. Kitengela Station. Go to the last page, you will get a space. Kitengela Station. And Kitengela Station will give us also 3 delegates. 1 worker, 1 lay adult who is a female, and 1 lay youth who is a male. Again, Kitengela East, Kitengela Station, 3 delegates, 1 worker, 1 lay adult who is a female, and 1 lay youth who is a male. And then we go to the next station, which is Ngong Station. Ngong Station. And Ngong Station, Pastor Geoffrey Wanyoike, you will help us on that. Pastor Wanyoike, and Ngong Station, you will give us 3 delegates. 1 worker, 1 lay who is a male adult, okay, and 1 lay adult who is a female. You will give us 2 adults, 1 male, 1 female, and 1 worker. And then we go to Kajiado North Station. Kajiado North Station. And Kajiado North Station, President Pastor Benjamin Mutugi, SNKF, will lead us on that. And on Kajiado North Station, you will give us these 3 delegates. Kajiado North Station will give us 3 delegates. 1 worker, 1 lay adult who is a female, and 1 lay youth who is a male. Again, Kajiado North, 3 delegates, 1 worker, 1 lay adult who is a female, and 1 lay youth who is a male. Then Southern Nairobi Station. Southern Nairobi Station, President Thomas Nyakunti Daktari, you will help us on that. Southern Nairobi Station, Pastor Nyakundi utatusaidia. Southern Nairobi Station will give us 5 delegates. 5 delegates. 1 worker, 2 lay adult male, and 1 adult female, and 1 lay youth female. Okay, again, 5 delegates, Southern Nairobi Station, 1 worker, 2 lay adult male, 1 lay adult female and 1 lay youth who should be a female. And then the last one is institutions. And institutions, we have publishing and Kajiado Adventist School. The one who will help us on that is Pastor Philip Isika, Executive Secretary at CRVC. And he will give us 1 delegate. That one we have left it open. It can be a male or a female. It's the Spirit of God will lead. My
So
leader.
you move it.
Ah,
You move the composition.
thank you very much. I so move the composition. to
Is
be
it
a-
seconded? An observation? Question? Those in favor, nione karatasi, you. Karatasi.
Okay.
Thank you. Those opposed? It's carried.
Okay, Mr. Chair,
Now
The-
you come to the lay.
the lay.
The lay representatives, we're also giving you the competencies which each station is bringing. After you have finished those ones, think of the lay in your wider station. They can be here, they can be out, but bring the best.
The lay representative from all stations. Kajiado North Station, give us an engineer, a male, and also you give us a second one, which is a finance but auditor and a female. Okay. My elder, I think you have so many females there, auditors. No wonder you are laughing. Kajiado North Station, 2 lay representative, engineer who is a male, and a financial auditor who is a female. And then Ngong Station, you'll also give us 2. 1, a legal person who is a female, okay? And a finance who is accountant and should be a male. That's Ngong. And then Kajiado East Station, give us educationist who is a female and a security and safety who is a male. And then we go to Kitengela. Kitengela, you give us a procurement in business who is a female and a human resource manager who is a male. That is Kitengela. A procurement in business and a female, and a human resource manager, a male. And then we go to Southern Nairobi
So which
Station.
means if they, with them, they can even interchange. With them,
Mhm.
since you have given them anybody qualified in human resources
Yes,
and in procurement,
yes,
and you have designated the gender,
yes.
but they may find human resource
Uh-huh.
is a male or a female,
Okay.
and then the procurement is a female, is a male. Are they able to change because within those ones, or it must be? Because we don't want you to be accused that you are thinking of certain people.
If we go that way, then maybe everybody will end up changing, and we might not get the best what we
But
want
we are
to
not
have.
changing that a station changes. But if we have given them 2, instead of limiting them, let them bring a male and a female in those, in that area. So you give them that freedom. It will make it sense. It will make it sense. But I think it gives you some leverage. Yeah, we are not changing anything. If you have 2 people, bring a teacher and this one, so you can see where you get. If you get a female teacher or this one, then you propose.
Okay, I hear it is the voice of the church, you know. The card there says the voice of the church. So thank you very much. I think
No, we are helping the officers so that they are not blamed. That they are targeting certain people.
unaweza peperusha hiyo unasema the voice of the church.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. I'm well guided. Our
You
leader.
know, Kenyans have got a lot of democracy, so they can challenge anything.
Okay, then we go to the Southern Nairobi station, and we also expect to have 2 delegates of 2 lay representatives, and one should be IT or stroke communication, and should be a male, and also a medical person who is a female. Okay, you can also do the same.
Again, as we say
Because-
the other side.
Yeah, the voice of the church.
Yeah, one of them should be male and another one should be female.
Thank you.
Give that freedom.
And then we'll also have a frontline pastor from Southern Nairobi station. We'll also have AYM representative from Kajiado North station, institution representative, Kajiado East School, and specifically Kajiado Adventist School and Rescue Center. APM representative from Ngong Station. And this is the first time we will have APM representative in our executive committee. I think that is the list.
Yes, you have moved it. The
Uh,
composition, the criteria.
I so move, Mr. Chair, that this criteria be accepted.
Is it seconded? Is there an observation? Okay. First of all, let's approve it. Let me see your cards to approve that composition. Thank you very much. With that flexibility, we said if you have 2 professions, please don't bring them from one gender. Bring them from either gender, and as they have read, or with that flexibility. Okay? Any opposed? Are you opposing it? Oh, okay. Observation, we have already voted. We have not voted. Okay, please. You give him a mic.
Thank you, Pastor. Probably I wanted just to maybe know from our executive secretary field that the South Nairobi Kajiado field, not really South, but Southern Nairobi station had more delegates, and I would expected that in the event of the lay, we have 2. Why don't we have 3 instead of 2? Because we have better delegates over the other stations. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
I think it's valid.
No, we go with our provisions. Let's see the provisions we have. The provision we just made was affecting the nominating committee, not the executive committee. Executive committee is not mere representation. It is not by the numbers. We want the positions and the competencies. And we have 36. We don't want them to fill that one. Let them leave that one because, like in Southern Nairobi, they said, it may be divided in between. Then now they will have different representation. So just leave that one for the executive committee. They have good plans for Southern Nairobi. Don't just represent them in the EXCOM. But their numerical strength can be seen in the nominating committee, not in the executive committee. Yeah. Yes, please, Pastor.
I don't know whether we know the composition of the nominating committee with regard to representation of the institutions. Although we already voted, it went too fast before I could be seen. But I was thinking they could have had one additional
delegate and on the nominating committee for representation of the institution. And the reason for that is Southern Nairobi, yes, institution, yes. The reason is, yes, from where I sit,
Yes.
I was thinking that should be our strength. We need to do mission using more of our institutions, number one, and we have a couple of schools in this territory that are still at the church level that also need to be represented beside Kaja to Adventist School, in my view. So that would be my plea. I don't speak for them, that's just my feeling.
That's okay. For our purposes now, we only have two institutions. That is the publishing and Kajiado. So if you give them additional delegate, and you have heard my elder here saying there is also a station that should have had 3 delegates, which has got 5,000 members. Institutions may not even have 1,000. Then you give them two representatives. You give a station 3 representatives. That is over-representing in institutions. So what they have proposed is a good balance. Yes, please.
Just for clarification, and I speak for some friends here also, that what's the difference between a lay and a worker, so that when we go there we know. Second question is that just for precautionary, that you go to a station and those, I don't know whether maybe he has he has already had an eye, but sometimes you may find that even those professionals are not even existing in those. So what is the remedy?
Okay. 2 quick ones. The lay and the worker is, we have denominational workers, pastors, literature evangelists, office workers if they are delegates. So if it's a church worker, a paid church worker, that's the one we are calling a worker. Not a worker in the government with the Coca-Cola or, he's also a worker, but that's not what we mean. We mean denominational employee of South Nairobi Kajiado. And the lay is any professional, any worker, but is representing the church, is not a pastor, is not a mwalimu wa shule or anybody here, or a medical personnel, then that is what we call lay. They are also professionals. They are workers, but now they are lay in that respect. Now, your second one, there are those scenarios. You go and attempt, look around, and if you can't get one who fits the criteria, you have been asked a lawyer, you have 5 lawyers, but none of them is serious with the work in the church. You have never seen him in seminars. He doesn't hold an office. We are not just bringing representation. If that is the scenario, you will come here. We have canvassed around here. These professions are challenging. Then we shall give you another one. But when you come, please say, we are comfortable if you give us a profession, this one, this one, this one. Bring even 3 or 4, then we see which one to give. Just in case there is that. Yes, please.
Thank you so much. My name is Duke Mobegi from Karingata. I don't know if mine can be just for clarification or it can be discussed later when the team has been formed.
Okay.
When I look at the departmental directors, basically the people are going to be nominated. And I'm seeing Adventist men put together, page 31. So if it's actually not supposed to be here, it can be discussed much later, Pastor, with your guidance. When you look at the new ministry that has department. There's personal ministries, Sabbath school, education, Adventist men ministries. My suggestion could be if maybe Adventist men can be moved to the area of church development. Generally, men are the people who do the development. I look at it that if the leader, whoever is going to be, come to my church to promote field development, he should be talking more to, of course, everybody, but majority to men, for ease of coordination and helping you see how you can synchronize the departments. Thank you.
I hadn't seen that. We don't have a department called Adventist Men. It can be struck out. Adventist men are taken care of in personal ministries.
Okay.
So that's a service. If it is put there as a department, please strike it off.
No, it's put personal ministries, Sabbath school, education, Adventist. So whoever is going to be the leader
So Adventist men, strike it out. It's taken care of in personal ministries.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, now I think we are ready for voting. Let me see those who are voting once more. Yes? Yes? Oh, over there. Oh, Maobe, I didn't see you. That should be the last, then we take a vote because time is also going.
Thank you so much, Chair. Two comments. One may have been overtaken by events, but allow me to comment on the nominating committee proposal on the composition. I think the youth have been underrepresented. When I look at it, seems to be favoring the adults, and we're telling the youth of this church that they're the majority and they're the ones who should have a sway in church leadership. For example, in Ngong Station, there is no youth representing them. In SNS, South Nairobi, where there are 4 delegates, we only have 1 youth. I thought we may have more youths who have taken time, instead of asking to come to this constituency. They could be given more voice. And since this is not part of the operating policy, or rather is not directly referenced in the constitution of South Nairobi Kajiado Field, I think it can be varied if the chair allows in the plenary before the nominating committee is elected by the caucuses. Point number 2, on the professionals, I have 2 observations. Number 1, it appears that the church wants to benefit from free services of the professionals, which is okay. We do give free services to the church all the time, even without being elected. But why would we elect our representatives to be professionals? Yet the church is composed of professionals, non-professionals, and the executive committee, in my understanding, which could be limited, they are there to represent the wishes of the members, which are so many: the issues of welfare, issues of church construction, employment of pastors, a subdivision of the stations, many things which church members in a station may want. If one is elected to the committee, let's say as an accountant, and thinking of only money, he or she may not represent all the wishes. So my proposal will be, if it can be entertained, why can't the stations be allowed to elect 2 people they think can represent them to the committee? I think this has been the story all the time, and I don't think that the lay representatives have failed the church. I have not had one of failure personally. The ones who have served when we were in CKC, now we are in South Nairobi Kajiado Field, they have served well. The station can say, we elect an ASCA school teacher to represent us, not as an educationist, but as a female or a male representative to represent us in all our concerns as a field in the executive committee. Another station will say, we elect an accountant, not because he's an accountant, but because they think that this person can present the views of the station. This is what I had in mind, so that we don't discriminate. We have many professionals. We have only chosen a few, and I believe the church needs a lawyer. Recently, the church needed a lawyer. I think the church has got lawyers, appointed lawyers. If the church needs an engineer, they're available, either on pro bono services or they charge for their services, so that we don't discriminate other church members who are eligible and can present the station very well without necessarily being a professional. My submissions.
Thank you. So 2 things. One is the underrepresentation of youth and the professionals. Is because of the limitation of numbers. But when we are on the nominating committee, we want people who are a little more exposed in the knowledge and leadership of this church. An adult has more advantage of knowing the pastors and the workers around than a youth. So if we bring so many youth there, and we are now taking here, and that's what we find in the nominating committee. I've chaired many nominating committees. You find that somebody is choosing someone because he was a speaker in their company. And that's the only argument he has. It was very good. We are talking about stewardship, he's talking about the company. So that is why we think like, let's give a fair representation. And that's fair representation of age. But also the male and the female and the workers will help us more to bring people into leadership who are going to manage the field. That's the reason. Not that we don't want the youth. The youth are there, but we want what we call fair representation, not equitable. I've not answered all this. About the professionals, let me read this nominating committee, not the church manual, brother. It says here, the local church has no authority outside its own body. It unites with other churches in the conference or the field as we have done. In delegating authority and responsibility, the conference officers and the executive committee to carry on the work between sessions. We are choosing managers. We are not using mere representation to present the affairs of people. We are not choosing so that we collect views from members. That is departmental work. The president can send departmental there, they have the lay, they can get the views. But we are talking about management. If we go like outside, we are talking about a university council. They are going to run the university. So that is why we need these professions, because they are going to do management work, not mere representation. Management work, they are going to see employment. That's why we need an HR person there to tell us, you are violating the labor laws. We are going to discipline people there. That's why we need lawyers and HR people, so that we don't put the management of the field in jeopardy. So, my elder, that is why we have done that, and we appreciate the services you give us in generally in building and others. We now appreciate that you bring those skills in the management of the field, which is placed on the hands of the executive committee. You are giving two critical things to the executive committee. You are giving authority of all churches. You are giving responsibility of all churches. Place it in managers, competent managers, who are going to run the field professionally. The problem we have is, if we tell you, you go and send us two, we will end up getting all men in the nominating committee, in the EXCOM. And all of them, most of them, like those fields and conferences in the rural area, we have seen there where they have 24 members and 18 are teachers. So you have executive committee which is like a classroom. So the only thinking is a classroom. So that we don't end into that problem, that's why we have tried to balance the management of the field by calling in professions that can help manage the conference. I think members, that may be fair. And the running can give us, this time we have these professions. And we may reach there and find that we have, let me tell you for example, you had somebody saying, please give us somebody in security and safety. Security and safety. You know now, because we never had anybody in the place, in the executive committee, most of our churches are about due for demolition. Because we did not we only just passed a building. And it did not have a ramp for, we have built 3 floors, 5 floors, no lift. But if we had somebody there, he would have said, before you approve this building, this plan, please put this in place. So that is why we are going to professions. Our members are professionals. Let them bring it in the committee. Let us run the church professionally. That's what we are doing at this time. Finally, I was saying that is the last one. Why don't we vote this one and bring people and proceed with the, yeah.
Chair, I want to add something. I think the youths are not disadvantaged because in the executive committee, there is always a departmental director and a frontline youth who is always there to represent the youth in the committee. So while we are electing a departmental director, we shall also have a youth representative who is among the youth. That is number one. Number two, all these people who become in the committee were professionals. And there is what we call conflict of interest. So when they are there now, they don't translate themselves. For example, he's a legal person, he does not translate himself into the lawyer. He is to act. Still, we shall acquire the services of those other professionals. It is only when we are discussing an item on that agenda, he can always guide us, this is what we shall do. But still, we shall need those competences from outside.
All right. Do we continue discussing or we finish here? Yeah, please, let's finish here and then vote, unless it is critical. Yes, unless things are going to get spoiled if you don't say what you're saying. Let's hear what he has. There, the mic is coming. Yeah.
Thank you, Pastor and Chair, for your guidance and the wisdom. I know it makes the work easier. Mine is on composition of the caucus. And when we were clarified what is the meaning of worker, and we were told, if I got it right, is a church worker or someone employed by the field or the conference for that matter. So when I look at the entirety of it, it appears then that the conference will have an upper hand inside that caucus. So probably I was seeking the wisdom that informed guiding the stations and the caucuses to bring church workers. Thank you.
It is our operating policy. It says the membership to this committee and even the nominating committee in representation should be as near as possible balance between workers and lay people. That's what informed that. Finally, you will be the last one, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chair, for those guidelines. Mine was just a clarification. When you look at the church manual, The church manual that you have just read, that is page 125, it is telling us that we need to elect members in the nominating committee who are able to determine cause and effect. Now, now, the way I've understood it is, it seems like there's a bit of some clarification that is needed. Because when you're talking about cause and effect, we cannot only narrow it down to knowledge and profession and experience. And sometimes we as members, we have seen certain events that have been happening in our churches. And I think going forward, even as we are electing the nominating committee, we really need to look at not only the profession themselves, but also we need to be guided by what the church manual tells us. It tells us that we need to elect people who are of good and regular standing, meaning members who are supposed to discern what is good and what is not acceptable. So with that, my understanding is, and my proposal is, we really need to look for members who are now able to actually inform the policy of the church 5 years to come. Let it not be a short-term measure, but rather a long-term measure, so that it can prevent some of the mistakes that have been happening in the past from occurring in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. If I got you well, that's okay. If you listened to the notice, they said, churches, please elect people following the criteria that was sent. So they sent the criteria that said, please, when you send somebody, female or male, adult or youth, should fit these things. And one of them was, he should be able to reason from cause to effect, tried, and this, and other criteria. So we believe that the church boards did that. That is why we are not worried. Everybody here must have fit the criteria. That's why you came here. So we don't doubt that William Mzee is not going to reason from cause to effect. No. We say the church sent this Mzee because he is known for reasoning from cause to effect. That's why we are not even threatened. But I agree with you that from going forward, we need to strengthen the qualities that bring people here to do this serious business. Okay, I think now we are okay. Let's now, please members, let us vote this thing. Because, let me tell you, some people are going as far as Oloitoktok. So if we keep them here until 6 o'clock, it will be because what we are saying is not matters of principle. Now we are saying things we need to fix. Why don't we vote this thing and then move on? Yes? About the card. What about the card? And what is the relationship with what we are doing?
All of us received the cards, written voting card, including other members whom you have said will not be voting. So even as we go to we are retreating to the stations, I wanted just a clarification, maybe because it could be out of ignorance. Do those members have a right to vote there when we are choosing those people that we have talked about? Thank you.
No, we have said the EXCOM member is not going to the station. Our guests are coming to the station only to oversee, not to vote. So only those who have voting powers are the ones who are going to the caucuses. So, yes, you stay here. We shall stay here. Yeah. All right, those in favor, wave your papers. We are appointing that criteria, and then we go. Any opposed? It's carried. Now tell them where to go.
Thank you very much, our leader. Let me start with Daktari Nyakina, Kajiado East. mahali Daktari Lumwe yuko. So at the far end of the building. And then Kitengela station, you go also on the other end of the building, the far end of the building. And then I think Ngong is very youthful. So Ngong, you climb up and you go to the far end. Okay? And then Kajiado North Station, because it's the mother of Ngong, you climb and you go to the far left of the building. And then Southern Nairobi Station, this far end here. Where Daktari, my pastor, unajua ndio mchungaji wangu, mali mchungaji wangu yuko, all Southern Nairobi Station waenda hapo ndio mchungaji wangu asichoke sana, at least hapo. And then the institutions, they are very few. Naomba mtoke hapa nje. Hapa hiyo mlango haijafungwa sana. Tutakuonyesha vile tunafungua. Unaenda hapa tu nyuma, mnamaliza alafu mnakuja mara moja. So nadhani na msiende lunch. We wait for 10 to 15 minutes. Yule ambaye atakuwa karani alete hiyo majina, nitakuwa nimeketi hapa, tunangoja, tunaziandika mara moja, alafu tunaweza kuendelea.
Yeah, we vote before we go for lunch. Yeah. So msimalize hapo, muende line up for lunch. We will come here and approve them. Then the nominating committee and you will go for lunch. The nominating committee will continue. You will continue with the plans. Lay plans for South Nairobi Kajiado. What do you want to see it in the next 5 years? What levels do you want it to rise in evangelism, in money, in auditing, in management, in all areas that pertain to the church life and mission?
Chair, I also want to stress this. In many of the sessions I have attended, once we have chosen the nominating committee, and the nominating committee is ongoing, and the plenary session is inside, and the plans are laid, you find many people are not in the hall. They are just outside their groups discussing. They say we are waiting for the white smoke. Yes, you can receive the white smoke, but what have you left that committee to go and work on? So please, let's follow this. As we go to our caucuses, let's be mindful of time. We do it the shortest time possible, and then we come here so that we can read and appoint. Then we shall give you a break for lunch. We shall decide how many minutes we are giving. Then we tell you, go and eat. Up this time, you come back so that you can now contribute. So that when you go back home, you say, I suggested this. That will be okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to call Madam Anu. You pray as we go to that wonderful session. Madam Anu is the director of Maranatha and a great partner of us. Madam Anu Kedas is a great partner in the mission work in South Nairobi Kajiado field, and we are glad that, Madam, you are here. You can at least offer a word of prayer.
Shall we all stand, please? Let's pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this day. Thank you, Lord, for bringing these pastors and these special people from all over this place, from far places, to come and plan for the next 5 years. Lord, at this time, I want to specially uplift each one of them, that you will give them wisdom, dear Father in heaven, that you will give them understanding to choose the right people at the right place. Lord, when you were on this earth, you have ordained people, your disciples, and we are all your disciples. But amongst us, Lord, there are people who are chosen to do certain work in certain stages. I pray that you will give all of them wisdom and guidance from above, that may your will be done, so that this 5 years that continues, may your hand be upon these leaders to be a mission in the world, that your coming may be hastened soon. Thank you, Lord, for hearing and answering our prayers. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you. Your 10 minutes imeanza.